Welcome to the Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. Here's your host, Morgan Colby and Rick Lemon.
What's going on, Fantasy Champs?
What's good? What's good?
My name is Morgan Colby. I got Rick Lemon with me as always, just popping Rick.
What's going on, bruh?
Nothing much. Just chilling.
Are you enjoying your spot in the fantasy playoffs?
I am, thoroughly. All my leagues made the playoffs. Not sure how.
Even in a league you tanked in. Nicely.
Yeah, 7-7 somehow. Total accident.
That's pretty good. That's good.
But, hey, can't control it. I got to start somebody. Apparently the guys that I started won. So there's that. But yeah, hey, hopefully you made it to the fantasy playoffs. We are here. We're going to recap week 14 today. Talk about some waiver wire pickups and start getting ready for the fantasy playoffs.
Whoa.
Hopefully next year will be a little bit better than this year has been. Because this year's
yeah, in terms of just quality football all around.
Yeah.
As we were briefly talking about before the show.
So, anyway, welcome in. Before we jump into our weekly recaps and our waiver wire pickups, check out our website, fantasychampions.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any other podcast platforms, please leave a review and share this pod with your friends. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, like and comment down below. Any questions you might have for us, my guys. All right, so we had an interesting week. Any overreaching thoughts on the week, Rick?
I do want to tell the world that I did once again miss the playoffs in our home league.
Yep.
But it was funny because everything actually went perfectly for me, and then my team won, and I had to score a certain amount of points more than another guy, and I did that to get the tiebreaker. So everything fell in place except a guy had to start someone or take somebody out of his lineup for Monday Night Football because he was listed as inactive and he had his handcuff. He did not do that. His team won, or his team lost by 9 fantasy points, or 8 point something to be exact. And the guy that he would have put in scored 9.8. So if he just swapped that, if he just set his lineups, I would have been in.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. I made the playoffs in every other league.
We just got some breaking sports news.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, the Vikings have benched Josh Dobbs.
You're kind of late on that, actually.
Am I?
It happened during the game this week.
Yeah, but they said
they're just
forward.
officially.
Yeah, officially moving forward. It's Nick Mullins.
Yeah. So in the game, I don't know. You're very lucky if you didn't, but I don't know. Did you watch the Raiders and Vikings at all?
I didn't watch it. No,
it was 3-0.
You flip away,
but that game was 0-0 the entire. They scored 3 points at the end, so it was a 0-0 game up till like 1 minute left in the fourth quarter.
So like the Vikings said, "Get out of here, Josh Dobbs," and they put Nick Mullins in. But
they made the switch at halftime.
Continue starting Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, because they're idiots.
They're dopes.
Poor Jimmy G. Never gonna get another shot.
No, sir.
But yeah, Josh Dobbs was benched during the game this week.
3-0. That's. I mean, I thought 6-0 was going to be bad for the Pats last week. 3-0 takes the cake.
Yeah, 3-0 is a new low.
Yeah. So
at least those teams can say they had backup quarterbacks in, but it's still not a real excuse.
No, not a real excuse at all. But anyway, we are going to do our booms and busts from week, was it 14? Yeah, 14 of the NFL season. Talk about some guys that went off, some guys that kind of burned you if you were trying to get into the playoffs. And we'll kick it off with quarterbacks, and then we'll get into waiver wire pickups after that. But, all right, let's start with the quarterback position with the booms. Lamar, welcome back, buddy. 32.6. All right. I don't know. Some people still starting him?
No, I am. Every single week. I have him in a league, and even when he sucks, I mean, It's Lamar Jackson. You got to start him.
You got to start him. Well, it's kind of like the rushing aspect of his game. I feel like at times is overrated. I mean, underrated. Overrated. Sorry, overrated for fantasy
Overrated.
football.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because he like on the season so far through 13 weeks that he has played a game. 13 games. He's had 7, 24, 28, 30, and then he had 10, 19, 36, 12, 11, 16, 25, 15, 35. So it's like he has, when he actually can throw the ball efficiently, he has a monster game, but that really doesn't happen on too much of a regular basis. He's kind of a boomer bust quarterback if you have him, but he is QB4 on the season in a lot of ways, and those numbers are skewed, by the way. So if you're looking at your app and going, you dummies don't have the right numbers, well, I don't have the right numbers, but that's a 5-point touchdown league. So, but anyway, he's still really good for fantasy football, and he kind of has, like the opportunity to really explode in a lot of ways. But having him in the fantasy playoffs kind of makes me nervous because it's like, he has Jacksonville, San Fran, Miami. That's 2 tougher matchups, and 1 like mediocre matchup, and he's already inconsistent. So it's like, just close your eyes and hope for the best.
Yeah, pretty much. He has been really ever since the MVP year, he's been inconsistent. But I will say quarterback play just in general is so down this year because he's QB4, right?
Mm-hmm.
On Sleeper, you can see what his numbers were last year. He pretty much had the exact same amount of fantasy points last year through 1 less game. So he has 13 more points this year.
Yeah.
Or 14 more points this year. 15 more points. Sorry, bad math. 15 more points this year than last year, but he's played 1 more game. So that's about accurate to what he would be if he played 1 less game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last year, in that stretch, he was QB 14.
Yeah.
He's QB 4 with pretty much the same amount of fantasy points per game.
That's a
huge difference.
So we're going to look at his I can't wait to look at these numbers at the end of the season.
Dude, the offseason is going to be so weird because we're going to see guys who are really high up, but it's only because they play. Yeah. Like points per game this year has always mattered, but it's going to matter more this year with all the injuries.
Oh, for sure. For sure. We had Desmond Ridder with 26.4 this week, so what the freak?
Whoa, where'd that come from?
I don't know. Don't react, please, guys. Don't grab him and start him next week. Justin Fields had 24.7. I love Fields. You, Justin.
Hey, my start of the week.
Beat the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Bear down, baby.
Too bad they got to play Cleveland this week. In Cleveland.
In Cleveland. At the quarterback position, we have, for busts, we have Justin Herbert with 2.8. So if you had him, my goodness. 2 abysmal weeks in a row for Justin Herbert.
Yeah. He did get hurt, I think, in the second quarter, I want to say.
Really?
And he's out for the season. Yep.
He's out for the what?
He's out. You didn't know this? Dude, you are like so far behind. He broke his hand. And he's out for the year. It was the second quarter. Oh, he broke his finger, I guess.
This is news to me.
Right index finger. Yeah.
Bro, I haven't even been on Twitter this year. Today.
Yeah, so in the second quarter, that's why he had 2 points. I mean, it's not the only reason why. He was not like the Chargers were sucking before he got injured, so it doesn't really matter. But in the second quarter, he broke his finger, and he's out for the year. It's really a 3 to 5 week injury, but because they have 4 games left, Brandon Staley announced that he thinks it's best for the team and Justin Herbert if he's out for the season. So they put him on IR.
Wow, I'm so glad I didn't trade for Austin Eckler, even though he had an okay week this week.
Yeah.
All right. CJ Stroud, 3.6. No, he did not get hurt. Well, he
did get hurt. He did get hurt.
But 3.6.
But he got hurt in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, 3.6 points.
He still had 86% snap percentage.
So, who would they play again?
The Jets.
The Jets.
In New York. In a rainy game.
Tough defense.
Which, by the way, I just, want to say this, that he was my sit of the week this week, and you didn't want to clown me for that. So, give me my flowers, round of applause. My star of the week, Justin Fields. My sit of the week, CJ Stroud.
Rick is correct. Yes, I was incorrect on that. I started him this week.
I will say at the end, you did say at the end that you agreed that Stroud was probably not a great play, but you were going to do it anyway because you had nothing to gain or lose.
Yeah. So I stayed in the 4th spot and lost in the home league, but it don't matter It don't matter with Stroud. I'm
Now the
concerned.
biggest thing with Stroud is he going to play in his receivers? Because Tank Dell is out for the year, and Nico Collins is also injured now. So there's a chance he might not play. And if he does play, he's going to be without his number 1 and 2
See,
receiver.
I think Tank Dell is really, really good. I think Nico Collins is okay. Like, just in terms of NFL talent. So I think that Stroud can elevate whatever else they have on the roster.
But still, Noah Brown and Robert Woods and John Mechie.
No, it don't look good, but I think he can elevate him.
That's bad.
He's going to try.
That's really bad.
I think Nico will be
That's
back.
Patriots level bad.
Hey, his playoff schedule is good, though. So we'll see with Stroud. If he hits the rookie wall, I might have to pivot. I'm trying to win a fantasy championship this year. But there is a chance that Stroud does not play this week because he got hit in the head and he has a concussion. When you go in concussion protocol, the chances of you playing that week are in the gutter. So it looks like as of right now on Tuesday afternoon.
Well,
December
lucky
12th,
for you, someone in our league completely gave up and dropped Kyler Murray. So you could pick him up.
What?
Yeah, somebody dropped Kyler Murray. That said, he is playing against the 49ers this week. So is that something you really want to do? Number one.
When did Kyler Murray get dropped? I need to catch up. Give me 5 minutes to catch up.
He got dropped like a week ago, didn't he?
Oh,
I saw it. Let me look at it.
What the heck?
Yep, Kyler Murray is available in our home league, and so is Russell Wilson, which is less appealing. But Kyler Murray is available.
Bro, let's take a look at that before tonight. Take a look.
Yeah.
I don't want nothing to do with the San Francisco 49ers, but
kind of is it kind of not colluding. That's not the right word, but it's just cheap. Like at the end of the season, you're gonna cut. I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, it is cheap. At the trade deadline, knowing that it's over and you don't need them.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Look, it didn't work. You wasted a roster spot. You're listening to this podcast. Anyway, Stroud had 3.6 though. Hopefully he can.
Well, you know what?
Back.
If is it. I don't know which team it is. That's why But if it's that team, then it's not as big of a deal because
they're currently number 3 in the league.
I thought it was a team who was out of the playoffs and dropped him.
No, that would be
he was
Bush
done, and that's what I thought. That's why I was like, it's kind of messed up.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, he's whatever. Jalen Hurts had 8.9, so he has I would say his worst week on the season. So
he was due for one bad game this whole season.
Yeah,
dude, he literally week 1 he had 12 against the Pats. Ever since then he's been at like 20.
I saw the tush push not work in this football game, which was hilarious.
Good to see.
So they actually called. There was an interesting call in that game. The refs finally, which I think they should be calling all year, but the offensive linemen for the Eagles have been trying to gain leverage by sticking their hand almost in front of the ball, like at the tip of it, which is illegal.
Uh-huh.
Like you can't do that. It's offside.
It's offsides.
Yeah. So, but they've been letting it pass because it's like, it's we're talking about.
It's so close.
It's so close. So, they got called for it in this game and backed up 5 yards and then didn't get it on 4th down.
Nice.
I love it. Anyway, let's move to the running back booms. Zeke, 27 points.
Whoa.
This is why I was talking about last week on the waiver wire show. I don't know if Rick was here or not, but I mentioned picking up Zeke. And I said, I don't know if they're going to score touchdowns, but that man's going to touch the ball a lot. And he did.
I did say on the Thursday preview that you weren't a part of that. I thought he was the only Patriot that you could maybe consider starting.
Yeah. So Zeke gets 27. I don't think he'll continue to get that total.
I don't either.
But because I don't think
he might continue to get the touches though.
But the big thing with Zeke is that like he's going to continue getting the touches. He's going to continue getting the targets through the air. I don't think Mondre is coming back by the end of the season at this point. Like he would be playing against the Jets, and then your fantasy playoffs don't matter. So Zeke is definitely a dude that you want to keep an eye on because if he catches 5 or 6 balls a game and gets like 70 yards, like ground and air, you're at a lock for 14, 15 fantasy points. And if he punches it in for a touchdown, you have a really good week on your hands. So, Zeke's a guy you got to have in your lineup. I think he fits. Like, we want to start Mondre on a week-to-week basis, but I think Zeke is a far better pass catcher than Ramondre Stevenson. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but But anyway, Breece Hall, 26.6, so he finally comes back and gets the job done. The whole Jets team went off.
The Zach Wilson spark.
Yeah.
I think that lasts the whole 1 week, though.
Yeah, the whole but 1 week. James Cook.
Zach Wilson can give you one spark, and then he'll go back to being Zach.
James Cook, third best running back on the week with 25.1. So he keeps
number 4 was Saquon.
He's
just want to say.
Wait, what? Oh, number 4 was Saquon.
Because I had Saquon. I made that trade to get Saquon, so I had to check that out.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even want to make that trade. He forgot to take the deal off. So
I didn't want to make that trade. I just wanted to get rid of Eckler, and then he ended up getting 20 fantasy points. So
you're like, oh yeah, it works. But James Cook gets 25.1 this week. He has been having he does occasionally have some big games, so you gotta keep rolling with him. Bust this week. DeAndre Swift sucked really for the last 3 to 5 weeks.
Yeah, he has.
It almost
buns.
in this stretch of the season when you talk about the playoffs, there might be a consideration now to sitting him or benching him at some point. And I know as soon as you do that, he is going to get 20 points, and you're going to be like,
right. And that's the problem. And with the amount of injuries there are, it's going to be really hard to do that. And he's up against Seattle this week, who I think is top. His playoff matchup is all green on Sleeper.
Yeah, it just
makes it's going to be really hard to do that.
Alexander Madison at 6.6. I think I'm just going to start sitting him now. Because he just.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, don't be a hater.
I'm a hater.
We know you're a freaking hater. But no, he's been mid. So if you needed a flex player or an RB2, he's had some mid performances since week 10 though. He has been very bad. So
he's only had one good game though since week 6.
Yeah. So he's not good anymore. I don't want him. And then Josh Jacobs did hurt himself in the game. He only came away with 7 points. So disappointing for teams that had Josh Jacobs. But can't do nothing with the injuries, I guess.
Just disappointing for anyone that had
a chance.
Anyone on the Vikings or Raiders roster this week.
Yeah. Wide receiver booms, Deebo Samuel, dude.
We could have been superstars.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. He's cooking.
Back-to-back 34-point weeks. Holy cow!
Cooking,
he's on
Rick.
a tear.
35 and 34, and then 22.
But this is the thing,
since the bye week, 15, 9, 22, 35, 34. He is cooking.
I bet you, I know, but this is how the 49ers go next week. He's going to get 5 fantasy points, and it's going to be Kittle and McCaffrey get 30.
I'm going to plant the flag.
They just have so many guys.
I'm planting the flag now. You want one of these friggin' trophies, guys? You want one of these?
Okay.
You're probably going to have Deebo Samuel on your team.
Whoa, okay.
Deebo Samuel league winner. I've seen this before. Seen this story before.
You think he's running it back from 2 years ago?
Yes, sir.
2021?
I do.
Okay.
If you have Deebo, unless you're in the home league and you didn't start somebody.
Oh.
Drake London, 29.2 fantasy points this week, so he has a really good week with Desmond.
I don't know, bro. That's a career high for him.
For real.
And then finally be his big time breakout game.
When Justin Fields cooks, DJ Moore cooks, the Bears cook. They don't need Cable Williams.
That's going to be the hot topic of the next few months.
Yeah. Wide receiver bust this week. We had Gabe Davis with 0, so good luck with that.
The Gabe Davis experience.
I typed in Nico Davis because I was just so heated about Gabe Davis.
Nico Collins.
2.3, but he did get hurt in the game, so
he got hurt in the first quarter, bro. I was so mad.
We'll see if Nico can
was the first play?
You guys need to make trades with me. First, I offer you Diggs for Eckler, and you say no because the bye week scares you, and then Eckler blows.
That one, okay, yes, that one I should have, because if I knew Eckler was going to be a shell of himself, I would have done that trade.
So, and then I have this dude that I've been trying to make a trade with to get Breece Hall and to get freaking DeAndre Swift and if you just did that deal, you would have won. Or if you traded me Tank Dell, you would have won that deal too because Tank Dell got hurt. Or maybe, Rick, when I asked you, what do you want for Nico Collins? And you said nothing.
Bro, Nico, but before this week, though, Nico was on a freaking tear.
That's all right.
No, it wasn't what you asked for, Nico. You're like, I said, you would need another player. And I said, who? And you're like, Nico? Like, get out of here, bro.
Of course I want Nico. But
He's
listen,
wide receiver
he
12.
got
He had
hurt.
2 points this week, got injured on the first play of the game, and he's still wide receiver 12 on the year, and he's missed 2 games.
I don't have to tell you, bro.
He's a wide receiver 1.
I'm just saying.
And you acted like he was a throw-in. Get out of here. Get out of here.
All of these trades. And you make that trade? You would do.
And your other one, what was it? Swift and Jonathan Taylor for Diggs. Well, guess what? Diggs had 6 points. So the dude who would have done that would have lost anyway.
I said Swift and Brees Hall. Well, it could have really been
Diggs?
anyone. Could have been anyone.
Okay.
Did Diggs have 6 points? I don't even remember that.
Diggs had 6 fantasy points
He's
this week.
unbelievable. He's making me kind of frustrated, to be honest with you. Anyway.
Back-to-back years where he chokes at the end of the season.
That would be a bust this week too, friends. Diggs 6 points. Jerry Jeudy had 3.62. So if you started him,
is he even a bust? Is he on fantasy teams?
I don't know, bro. Somebody might have started him this week. He's good enough to be a flex on a bye week.
He has since the bye week 6'10", 383.
Yeah, that's not good. So he's just an eternal bust.
His 1 touchdown on the season.
Tight end booms. We got Evan Ingram 32.5. David Njoku had 27.1. Isaiah Likely had 19.3. So none of the big boys at the top here this week, but lots of high scoring tight ends.
Yeah, tight end week.
What did Travis Kelce do this week? Because since this whole Taylor Swift thing started, jeez,
he had 14.
Ooh, man, he's what's going on, Travis?
He's still the tight end 1 on the season, though. But
how far ahead is he?
He's not doing as well as he did last year. Like last year when we were talking about he was worth the first-round pick because he was like, top 5 at receiver or top 3 at receiver if you made him a receiver. This year, he's not near his stat line of last year.
No way!
Yeah.
Haters, take it back. TJ Hawkinson has 196.
Whoa, he's tight end 2.
Sir. Suck an egg, everyone.
Mark Andrews was tight end 2 before he got hurt. So
that's fair. But he still was averaging 13.5 points per game, and Hawkinson's averaging 15. So suck it.
Well, does that include the game where he got hurt in the first quarter and had 2 catches on the first drive of the game for 23 yards?
Yeah, whatever.
Yes, it does.
But anyway, nobody really was elite this week for the elite tight ends besides Evan Ingram, David Njoku, and Isaiah Likely. Pat Freiermuth was a bust this week, 6.8. Goddard had 7, and then my boy Dalton Kincaid had 7.1. I am concerned about Kincaid, by the way.
Who was scoring for the Chiefs? For the Bills this week.
What? Oh yeah, everyone was low scoring. Well, Dawson Knox came back this week.
Yeah, but who? Somebody had James Cook had the receiving touchdown, and Josh Allen had a rushing touchdown. That's why.
God, the Patriots just had a quarterback workout.
Who?
Perry.
Who?
E.J. Perry. Google him. I don't know who he is.
Mike Reese said that this morning that might happen because he's familiar with Bill O'Brien. That's what they were talking about this morning.
Quarterbacks. Anyway, yeah, he had 7 points this week. He still had 78% of the snaps and 8 targets this week, so that's a good thing for him with Dawson Knox returning. Hopefully that stays the same because I'm going to continue starting him. It hurts. I'll let you know next week after the game. He is currently, after his bad week, he is currently tight end 10 on the year. Or tight end 11. So he's, he had that bad. He had a... maybe he's reverting. I don't like this.
Knox did have 3 catches this week.
They did?
He did.
Oh, okay.
So, not anything crazy, but maybe chipped at it a little bit.
All right, they're your booms and busts, though. You want to talk about some waiver wire ads? We can think about it.
We can. There's not. We're in the playoffs now, so I don't know how much waiver wire is going on, if any.
Let's do it. We have to help. We have to help. People are crying for help. Rick, you don't realize you almost made the playoffs yesterday, and if you had,
I did.
You don't have anybody on your team. No offense.
Well, that's mean.
That's mean. You got
Jameer Gibbs is
shake and bake.
since he became since
we
week
know
6.
We know Jameer Gibbs is good.
Is,
we talked about this.
top 5. Devin A. Chain when he's out there is
Hey,
top 5.
I'm curious. The trend that we talked about with the first round running backs. Is that holding? Being what we got.
Who's the first round?
Jameer Gibbs is RB13 right now, and Bijan Robinson's RB8. So we just need to get Gibbs into the top 12 here.
He's going to be top 12. He will be top 12.
So it might be a thing. But anyway. Okay. Let's talk about the waiver wire guys for this week. At quarterback, there's a few. At this point, you're streaming quarterbacks, unless you end up in a scenario where Kyler Murray's dropped and you kind of have to think about picking him up.
AKA you.
Yeah, dude. If CJ Stroud hits the rookie wall, I need a guy. What's going on with the playoffs with Kyler anyway? Oh my God.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
I gotta think about it. Yeah, Chicago and then Philly, and Philly's green right now. Why is that the thing? Anyway,
well, they give points to quarterbacks, but 49ers is not a good one.
Okay, so there's a couple of guys that are streamable. Like, what are your because everyone has been adding Joe Flacco. What are you doing?
Old man Joe.
19 points last week, 24 this week. He's going up against Chicago this week, which not necessarily a lockdown defense over there. So what are you doing with this man's?
I mean, I guess you can pick him up and start him if you're streaming quarterbacks, but if you're streaming quarterbacks and you're in the playoffs, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, I mean,
I felt you looking straight at me on that one.
Well, no, not necessarily because your guy got hurt. So I guess if you had CJ Stroud, because this is the only scenario I can think of,
or Justin Herbert.
Okay, yes, that's right. You know what? You're right. There were 2 quarterbacks.
The entire league's hurt right now, Rick. So let's just play that game.
Okay, so then fine. I do like Flacco. I would play Flacco. I don't know. I was going to say I'd play Flacco over Kyle.
Back. You're like Joe Biden's press secretary.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know. I would pick him up. He's worth a stash. Am I going to tell you he's going to definitely be a top 10 quarterback this week, though? I can't. That's Joe Flacco.
The Jets, certainly in Week 17 is not good. But Houston.
We're just talking this week, though. Week 15.
Oh, okay. All right. Against Chicago? Yeah, he's a streaming option.
He is, but I can't tell you I love it.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Oh, I love the NFL. We're playing games with the practice squad. So today, 21 hours ago, Joe Flacco headed back to the practice squad. The analysis is that the move is merely procedural after the Browns elevated Flacco to start the team's 2 last games. So far, he's fared well in those. I don't know what that means. What does procedural mean?
Yeah, why? I don't get it, because any team can sign him off the practice squad.
Well, who's going to pick up Joe Flacco right now?
Any team could, in theory.
I think it's just to make roster moves. It's dumb. I would imagine he starts this week. Is Watson out for the year?
Yes.
Imagine Joe Flacco goes to the playoffs.
Well, they might, dude. They're 8-5. They would have to.
That was not on my bingo card this year.
No.
Flacco. All right.
No.
So yeah, I would be okay with Flacco, but I'm not like he's on the. If there's a list of guys, he's probably on the bottom.
Okay. Well, what's the list?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Tommy DeVito.
Matt Stafford versus Washington would be one if he's available. He's rostered in 54% of leagues right now.
Yeah, if he's available, he should be the number 1 guy.
I don't want anything to do with Easton Stick for Los Angeles or Nick Mullins for Minnesota.
Nope.
Tommy DeVito. Yeah, nothing to do with him either. He's just not. He's gonna give you a base floor of maybe 10 points.
He had 18 this week. Oh, 17 this week.
So,
71 rushing yards for Tommy DeVito.
No. So the
He's
real
playing New Orleans.
you have Desmond Ritter with the 16%
I'm
rostered
good.
percentage, 27 fantasy points this week. I agree with you. That's a poop nugget as well.
He's playing Carolina, which is well, I guess not a great matchup.
Oh, bro, what is happening in this league?
Zach Wilson. Is that who you're looking at?
No, never mind.
Zach Wilson coming off against 21 against Houston.
Our trade deadline passed, so I don't see the little trade symbol next to their name anymore, and it's like this blacked out plus sign. And I thought Sam Howell was available. I was gonna.
Oh, you got excited.
Rip my drawers off. Yeah. All right, and then the only other guy that I can think of, because everyone else kind of blows, is don't pick up Bailey Zappi, by the way, you dummies. Zach Wilson. People have been picking him up. No thanks.
He's playing against Miami, so it is a good matchup, but
yeah,
I wouldn't trust. Zach Wilson has not put together back-to-back good games in his NFL career.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. So the two guys I would stick my flag stick in, or yeah, that sounded really strange.
You would do what?
Rick was thinking about it. He was like, that doesn't sound right. Anyway, I would choose Joe Flacco or Matt Stafford this week.
I would choose Stafford and then cry if there's nobody else.
Yeah, for real. This is what happens when Rick and I consistently don't record together for a long time.
I know there's just a lot of
what is happening on the show.
Well, I feel like there's just a lot that's gone on the last few weeks
that we haven't discussed
in general. Right.
But anyway, all right, let's move to the running back position and talk about some guys there. There isn't really a whole ton to discuss. One guy that I really liked was Roschon Johnson coming into this week, and I picked him up, and then he didn't get any of the snap percentage. Foreman outsnapped him in the game, out-touched him in the game. So, yeah. And he had 9 points. So I don't know if you want to go add Foreman. He's not going to be a play this week for you against Cleveland. Against Arizona, he might, and against Atlanta, he might, but I just don't he led the backfield this week, but I don't know what their plans are running back.
Well, the Bears backfield is just a revolving door.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's.
I'd avoid that if possible. I have no interest in Ty Chandler.
No.
I have no interest in Chase Brown. He had a huge catch this week in the game that gave him a 19-point game. So I don't have any interest in him. Patrick Taylor from Green Bay, don't want him. And then Zeke's already picked up in a bunch of leagues. So is there any running backs that you're looking at going, I need to get this
No,
guy?
And again, if we're in the fantasy playoffs now, this is the fantasy playoff week. If you're looking at a running back on the waiver wire,
for sure,
and be like, oh, I got to pick this guy up and start him, you must be in a league where every team makes playoffs.
Yes.
Or you're in an extremely deep league.
Would say.
Or.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, or you're in a league that, which is the more common answer, that maybe you're in a 10-person league and people just don't pay attention. If that's the case, Zeke might be available and you should pick him up.
Yeah, I agree. I would say my one advice for you for the running back position on the waiver wire is, Josh Jacobs did get hurt this week. Zamir White might be a guy that you want to go get. I would like Tajay Spears. I like Rico Dwaddle. I like the handcuffs. So if you can go out and find handcuffs, then get them on your team. Like right now, Tajay Spears on the season, he's RB34. And he hasn't, he's inconsistent, hasn't had a lot of really great games. But if just looking at his efficiency and what he has done on the field, if Derrick Henry were to go down at any point, Spears would become a high-end play on a week-to-week basis, at least an RB2 performance. So I like that from Tajay Spears. I think it's a really good thing. A really good thing that he provides if Derrick Henry were to get hurt, but the guy is invincible, I guess. So but Spears would be a guy I'd pick up. Just go pick up the handcuffs. The handcuffs of high-end running backs that get a lot of work. So that would be my suggestion to you.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's talk about some wide receivers here. Not a lot to discuss. There has been a lot of movement with Odell Beckham. He's rostered in 52% of leagues. He had a big week this week. In fact,
I traded a 4th-round pick for him in a dynasty league because I needed an extra receiver.
Since week 9, he has had 14, 11, 15, 6, and 19. So I don't know what that. Let's look at that on Let's look at the numbers for that. From 9 to
He still
14.
though in that stretch has not had more than 5 catches.
Yes, he's
been under 5 catches for. He did have 10 targets this week though, which is encouraging.
But that would put Odell at wide receiver 28. So in PPR leagues,
that's
in
startable.
Second flex, that is definitely startable. I don't know if it goes in. I'm playing Odell this week. He's playing Jacksonville. Jacksonville has been decent against.
Yeah, I wouldn't really worry too much about Odell.
Yeah, so I don't know what to do.
Man, you got. I don't know how you do it, man.
How did I do what?
You probably got the easiest first round matchup in that league.
Yeah, and I'm gonna lose. I feel it.
If you lose, man, then
it's embarrassing. Gosh. Yeah, it would be the epitome of my season, though.
I should have made the playoffs.
Yes, yeah, but then I'd be playing Austin, and so thanks for not doing that. So anyway, outside of that, I don't see any guys that you can go add. What I would do is try to add, like, my advice is to add younger wide receivers, maybe even rookies that maybe haven't broken out yet, that could break out here in the last 3-4 weeks of the season, that, you know, have that potential. I don't know who that looks like for you. Jaden Reed would be one of those guys if he's available. He's rostered in 65% of leagues. So yeah, I like, outside of that though, there's not a whole ton at the receiver position that I'm interested in.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, if somebody like Jaden Reed is available, he should definitely get picked up, but he probably isn't. I don't mind Wandale, but he's not like somebody that you're going out of your way for.
I've been on that train before.
Oh no, same bro. He was on my team. I had him first, actually.
Okay, and then at the tight end position, kind of in the same boat. Likely should be your number one ad.
Why is this Davis Allen number one trending?
I don't know.
He had 15 points and touchdown this week. Before that, he had 1 fantasy point on the entire season.
Tyler Higbee was inactive.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I would say no to Davis Allen if you're
I would agree with you on that.
Oh my god, dude. But like, the tight end position's been really bad. Like, people have been picking up Logan Thomas this week, and like, dude hasn't had more than 10 points since week 8. He's only had more than 10 points 3 times.
Likely would be the only guy, but he's likely not available in your league.
Yeah, for sure. I have 57% rostered, so some.
Okay, so he might be. So yeah, if you're desperate for a tight end, I think this week I had in a league I had Trey McBride and someone else, and one guy was injured and McBride was on a bye week, so I had to pick up a tight end just to play, and I picked up Likely, and he did pretty good. So yeah, he could be a plug and play.
Okay, that is about it for the waiver wire ads. Any more thoughts?
No.
Okay, there you go. There are waiver wire ads. There's a recap from week 14. The next episode, we're going to talk about Thursday night football, preview that game, and then we also have starts and sits the following week to get you prepared for your week 14 matchup. We're getting to the end of the season here, guys. You got to get a championship. Talk to you later.
See you.
Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Champions Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes and YouTube, and follow us on Twitter @TheFFChamps.